Joey, I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for today. I had tempered my expectations and my excitement up until the reviews started coming out. And even then, I was like, sir, you can't get to me. I have an armor built up around here, right? There's a special place in my heart for this movie called Blade Runner, and how dare you people think that, you know, you could mess with this beloved franchise, right?
Yeah.
But then Tim came in 2 days ago and was like, look, I watched the movie again, watched all the shorts, I'm hyped for this. And I'm like, you know, I haven't seen the original Blade Runner in years. All the people in the chat were like, Nick, don't watch the director's cut, because that's the last one I saw. Watch the final cut. It is the definitive edition of this film.
I hate that this film has so many editions.
Final cut, phenomenal. Sat down with my wife last night to watch it, and I was like, this might be a mistake. As you know, my wife factor may or may not, it either heightens the experience or it completely ruins it for me. She, about 20 minutes in, was like, I was like, I'm gonna go get a diet soda. Should I pause? She's like, no. I'm really into this.
Whoa.
Can you just keep, and she never asked me to do that, so I was like, whoa, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Forgot how fucking phenomenal that film is. Watching it again as a 37-year-old man, I think the last time I'd really seen it was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Watching it every like 10 years, I see different things in it. And this time I watched it from the perspective of just the cinematography.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli. Like, that's the one thing I will say to the makers of Blade Runner 2049 is you've got your work cut out for you, because those images that Conan put down on that film, phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm so pretentious right now.
You are.
It's Blade Runner Day. Happy Blade Runner Day. Happy Blade Runner Day, everybody. Welcome to the Kind of Funny Morning Show. My name is Nick Scarpino. This is Joey Noelle. She is joining me for the first time. Not the first time on the show, but this is the first time you've been my illustrious co-host.
I know. It's very fun. I like it.
I'm excited about it. I also like that you did this a little bit, but then you're like, you did.
It's the Joey.
Can we both do it?
Thing.
That's fantastic.
That'll be a thumbnail.
Of course, if you didn't know, each and every day we come to you 11 a.m. Pacific time, live here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, where you and all your friends that you have across the world can watch if you want, and be in the chat and hang out with us and ask us ridiculous questions, and we can just sit here all day if we want, because this is our company. We can do whatever we want. We can talk about Blade Runner all day if we want to. But if you don't have time for that, I understand. People have lives out there. You can't watch. You got a job. Your boss is like, who is this stupid person on your camera with a goofy haircut? Why is he talking about buttholes and stuff like that? Get to work, sir, or you're fired, sir and or ma'am. Well, that's okay. We post this every day to YouTube as well. You can go there. You can subscribe. Hey, you probably got a friend named Jason, right? Everyone's got a friend named Jason.
Everyone has a Jason.
Tell your boy Jason, hey, Joey and Nick were talking about you on today's morning show.
Hey,
they
Jason.
really miss you. They think you're a cool dude. Say what's up to Jason again. Just do it again.
Okay.
Let's give him one of these. So send this to your boy Jason and tell him to subscribe to youtube.com/kindoffunny. And while he's at it, why don't you go over to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, click that little subscribe button as well. Of course, if watching things is not your thing, and you like to just listen, you like to consume your content via your ear ducts, well, we also put this on iTunes as well as SoundClouds and all those services. So you guys can get it on a podcast anywhere you want, play it on your cool retro iPod. You know, we all have phones now, but you probably got like a cool iPod, one of the bricks that has a little scroll wheel that was like, why did someone design this stupid wheel? And then they made touch screens and we were like, oh.
The scroll wheel was cool.
The scroll wheel was terrible.
It was cool. The glass one that was just like...
That was cool.
It looked cool.
Right, it was cool, but then someone realized, you know what's even better? Buttons that go up, down, left, and right. They figured that out. And then they were like, you know what's even better than that? You just touch what you want.
You want that.
Scroll, yeah. They were geniuses. They're much smarter than me, which is why they're all billionaires. A few housekeeping things right now. First off, happy Blade Runner Day. I don't know if we told you that, but Blade Runner 2049 is out in theaters today. We will be going to see that tonight. And we will probably do a reacts. Are we doing reacts afterward? Are you down for that?
I don't know. I think so.
Cool, Greg. Are you down to come back after that and do a reacts?
Yeah. Hell yeah, Nick.
There it is. There it is.
Cool Greg, the forever hype man.
Cool Greg is the hype man. He's also the G. He's the G unit. We call him Big Gooch, Big Gucci. I know. Lately, I call him the Booch because we both like kombucha.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Tim
Big...
and I were talking like, how long is it going to take Nick before he just shortens kombucha?
The Booch. Or Booch.
Did not take very long.
Cool Greg, look at. You guys can just be over in your little fucking LaCroix party all you want, okay?
Fuck yeah.
Well, meanwhile, the cool kids, the kids who are forward thinking, the ones that don't buy into the cool, whatever the cool fad is, the LaCroix fad is.
Kombucha is the cool fad.
Excuse me, I'm talking. We're over We're over in the booch pool. Okay, we're at the booch party right now. We're big chillin', and Sweet Nick and the music are over in the booch party. You know what I'm talking about?
No, and I'm kind of okay with that.
It's cool. Every once in a while, Cool Greg and I find something to bond on. Cool Greg, very, very introverted, very thought-provoking human being.
100%.
I love hanging out with him because he sees the world differently. Sometimes he'll point things to me. Like the other day, we were driving, and he goes, "Hey Nick, look over there." And I looked over, and I shit you not, there was a Nick at Night spray painted on, like a cool logo spray painted on the side of the freeway.
Really?
And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What the fuck? That's so cool." Now, as you know, Nick at Night is the premier video blog series on Instagram Stories that you can find if you follow me at Nick_Scarpino on Instagram. I post every night except for last night when I forgot. But I will be posting tonight. I'll post all the shenanigans of us going to the theater and seeing the movie, and then we'll do some quick reacts afterward, and we'll come back here for the reacts. By the way, I don't want to force you to come back here if you want to go home and play Stardew Valley or whatever the hell you're doing.
I'm attached to Jen tonight because I'm watching Portillo tomorrow.
Just bring him in.
Well, Jen's coming to the movie with us.
Oh, well, then she can come and talk about it.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, the person that made the movie is from Montreal, I believe. Denis Villeneuve, so they probably know each other. All French people from Canada know each other.
It is true.
Next, did I finish that thought? Sometimes I have this thought, I'm like, why did I start saying that?
I think you did.
Anyway, kombucha. Check it out. Or the booch, as Big Chillin' likes to call it. Cooking with Greggy, episode 3, live for everyone, youtube.com/kindafunny. If you want to cook and you like having fun and you want to make some cool chicken wings and you want that content for free, head over to our channel, hit subscribe, send it to your friend Jason. If you want even more of that content, you guys want to go support us for the $1 above level, you get 1 week early access to the next episode of Cooking with Greggy, which is about
really
seared
good.
steak, and it looks really good. Actually, it tastes really good too. I remember actually eating the steak going, this is fucking phenomenal.
I think that was one of the few things that wasn't on the table when we got there.
Yeah, I ate it.
I was like, I think
made
you guys
3.
are supposed. I don't think it was
crushed
just
it.
this salad of arugula. I think there's something else.
I killed it. As you know, I am sometimes on a ketogenic diet. That was
Yes.
one of those days, and I'm glad I was, because otherwise I would have eaten everything that he made. And he made a lot of really good food with a lot of carbohydrates. The Team Fat Apron, a lot of people have been asking us. Cool, Greg, you can see this right here that Greg's wearing. We will be giving that away at the fan mail tier on our Kinda Funny Patreon. So patreon.com/kindafunny. If you support us at the fan tier level for the month of October, you will be getting that mailed to you as soon as we figure out how to make them.
We're working on it.
Well, we figured it out. We just got to get all that. We want to make sure we get an accurate count before we make them, because these motherfuckers are a little expensive.
Also, for all the international people that have asked, yes, we will mail it to you internationally.
We
Canada,
will.
UK,
Now, here's the
Australia,
thing.
wherever you are.
Do we like that we have to do mail it to you internationally? No. Should you all move to the United States so we can all be closer together? Yes. Do I like traveling to your country? I do.
Also, yes.
I do. But in America, we're lazy. And I don't like to leave my house if I don't have to. So here's what I need you guys to do. Call up your friend Jason, put him in a car, drive over to the United States, hang out with us.
Jason.
I don't understand. When's Jason Derulo going to drop something hot? You know?
I mean, I feel like he's always dropping something hot.
Is he?
I like his stuff. I think he's very catchy.
I mean, yeah, but when's his next jam?
I don't know.
I love Jason Derulo.
You know who I miss?
Max Landis?
100%.
Yeah.
Max Landis is the homie. He and I bonded because we started singing John Mayer in the other room.
Yeah, you guys are weird.
While we were making fun of Kevin.
You're very weird.
Which is like 2 of my favorite things put together. But the whole episode is now up today. 4th section of it went up. I rewatched part of this last night to look at some of our social stuff. Woo, boy. It's an episode.
It is an episode. It is 100% an episode.
My favorite
I'm wearing
part.
shorts. I don't even have it. I'm naked from the mid-thigh down.
There was a comment on the breakout that was like, this is the 3rd breakout and I'm still distracted by Nick wearing shorts.
I got great calves. I just want everyone to know. So there's
Oh,
only
you're
a
even
couple-
missing the shoes in this one too.
Oh no, I had floppers on. Yeah, I just put the floppers off because sometimes I do the thing that dogs do where they're hot, so they put their bellies on the ground. I like to take my shoes off, put my feet on the ground on the cold tile. It just cools me off a little bit. It's a little John McClane action right there. This is a great episode.
Yeah.
Phenomenal episode. Max, the second time having him on the show, is such an interesting and uniquely great guy.
Yeah.
And getting to know him and getting to see a little bit of, get a little just insight into how his brain works was really, really cool. I told you maybe go watch Dirk Gently. I haven't tweeted about it yet. I've been meaning to. I loved it.
It's on my list, yeah.
It's a great show. It's super fun. It's very off the wall, very British, very Max Landis.
Yeah.
So you have to give it a couple episodes. You have to have patience with it because it's actually kind of smart content as opposed to what I
actually
watch,
have to pay attention.
Yeah. Normally when I watch content, I want it to hook me in the first 15 seconds and then be super derivative so I can just blank out and look on Twitter for like an hour.
So I can play Stardew Valley at the same time.
Yeah. I did that last night when I was watching the Blade Runner shorts, and then I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I had to rewind it. And I was like, oh, I got to pay attention to these.
What was that? I missed that whole section, and now I don't know where they are.
Yeah, it's weird. Have you watched Blackout yet?
No.
You should watch. I highly recommend, if you guys haven't done this. Now, I know the movie's out today, but if you can go back and watch the final cut and then watch all of the shorts leading up to it, I think it's really cool. People are saying, and I've seen people ask, hey, do I have to do that? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. But this fleshes out the 40 years prior to the movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty important. There's a lot of crazy shit that's happened. And it also introduces you to Jared Leto's character and to, what's his name? Guardians of the Galaxy guy. Dave Bautista's character.
Oh, got it.
So it's kind of cool to see those precursors done there. And I think you'll get a little bit out of that then you can take into the movie. It'll flesh it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So definitely do that if you have time today. If you got nothing else to do, if you're just watching this show, finish this show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And then go watch Blade Runner.
It should be just a Blade Runner focused day for everyone.
I think so too. I think if you're at work and your work doesn't have to do with Blade Runner, then you should just leave your job. Go to a coffee shop, watch Blade Runner. Maybe write some Blade Runner fanfic where Harrison Ford leaves Sean Young's character and comes and parties with Big Nick.
And if you write that, you should send that in to us so we can read it.
That would be great. In fact, right now, if you're bored, write that fan fiction, one paragraph or less, about what it would be like for Rick Deckard and big old Nick Scarpino to hang out. Rick and Dick. No, Rick and Nick.
You need a Richard
Rick
friend.
And Nick. I do need a Richard. Everyone's got a friend named Richard, right? Ricky? Bobby? You call him Bob?
I don't know if I do.
You know a friend named Rob?
I mean, I do, but it's like a Robert.
Oh, it's a Robert, huh? Is that where the Bob comes? No, Dick is Richard, right?
Yeah.
I don't know any Richards.
I don't think I do either.
Everyone's got a Bob friend, though. A Robbie friend, a Rob, right?
Yeah, I have a Robbie.
That'll be the joke tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm just going through I'm trying to go through like, John, you got a friend named John, right?
Yeah.
Tell John we said what's up and tell him to subscribe to our channel. Let's go into the news. What do you think?
I'm very excited about this. Well, I'm not excited about this news. I'm excited
First
about
news story. Yeah, this is some other cool news. But first news story, Netflix hiking their prices today. Netflix raises U.S. streaming subscription prices. This is from IGN. Alex Gilyadov says Netflix has raised subscription prices once again in the U.S. Variety reports Netflix's standard 2-stream HD service is now $10.99 per month, up $1 per month from the previous $9.99 monthly fee. Meanwhile, the 4-stream family plan now costs $13.99 per month instead of $11.99 per month. Netflix's single-stream standard definition service will remain at $7.99 per month. Who the hell uses that?
I have no idea.
What kind of monster is stuck in the SD world? We're almost at 4K streaming now, folks. It's time to take that CRT TV and kick it out the window. Just kick it out your 4-story window and just pray that it doesn't kill anyone. Joe, you're a Netflix subscriber.
I am. Well, yes.
You steal someone else's Netflix login.
There's a family plan that goes on.
You
of
got a
like,
family plan.
I steal my parents and I give them my Hulu. So there's a reciprocity.
That's
there.
fair. That's quid pro quo. How do you feel about this? It's only $1 more.
So I feel like I watch so much Netflix and I just have it on in the background pretty much anytime I'm home. Like I'll have The Office on or like random movies. I'm not like personally offended by them raising their prices. I also think that they've upped their like original content so much that I'm totally okay with it.
Had you asked me this 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, I'd be like, this is $11 a month seems like we're getting into hey sir territory.
Excuse me.
But I think about all the series that I've watched, all the documentaries, all the original content I've watched on Netflix over the last 3 years. I think it's still worth it.
Yeah.
For the what is that? $132 a year?
Something like that.
I can't do math.
11 times 12.
That's worth it for American Vandal alone.
Yeah.
For sure.
So good.
So fucking good.
So
I finished that a couple of days ago and I'm like, what a fun project. There was another article that I was going to put in here, but I forgot to because I'm not good at the show, where they were talking about how Netflix is purposely going in and finding these projects in Hollywood that are stuck in development hell. One that they highlighted was the guy that did Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah.
Who did that new Adam Scott like horror comedy movie where the baby's like it's like Damien.
Oh yeah.
So they were like they're trying to find projects like that are these directors that are notable and talented and give them to them. I think that's fucking awesome.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's amazing. And we had a great podcast with Adi Shankar, and we talked about that. We talked about how the landscape is super shifting, but it's shifting in the favor of the creator now. Because all those barriers and all those yes men or no men or middlemen are starting to go away a little bit, and you can just have a direct pipeline to the creator.
There's all these other gates.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. So I'm a big fan of Netflix.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into Hulu yet, but CBS All Access has done me wrong.
I don't know what's CBS All Access. Is just that online streaming?
That is the giant fucking prison wall in between me
oh no
and Star Trek Discovery, which is the only show I was like, I just want to buy this fucking show. I just want to watch the first. I want to pay $3 for the first episode, and just watch this and see if it's worth it. Right?
Can't buy it anywhere. Not on iTunes. Nothing.
Now, some people are saying, hey, isn't there a free trial of CBS All Access? Probably.
But
don't I still have to put my credit card in, and aren't I still going to forget to cancel it next month? And should I wait until all of the episodes for the season are done and then get the free trial?
I think that's what you should do.
Which is what I'm going to do.
It's going to be great.
The other thing that I'm probably going to do is forget about it, and then when it eventually does come to Netflix, because the CBS All Access app is stupid.
I don't. Is there anything else to watch on CBS?
No, I mean, granted, it's got me thinking about it.
Yeah.
So clearly the strategy is working to some degree. I have not stopped obsessing about this. I downloaded the app. I'm getting one step closer to just putting my credit card in and saying screw it, because I love Star Trek, and I love Star Trek on TV, because I think it's like the best possible iteration of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Is when I can just get one every week and binge watch like 20 of them. Fucking love them. So we'll see about that. I don't know. People in the chat. We've got you here. Let's talk to you for a second. How many people, if anyone has watched Star Trek Discovery, is it worth the subscription? Should I wait? How should I view this? Do you have any illegal links for me?
Don't
send them to Joey.
Don't send them.
Joey will give them to me. Let me know.
I'm gonna get a lot of illegal random shit, and I don't like this. Maybe I do.
Falcon 1282 says, "Don't flip flop, Nick. It's not flip flopping if they create a better value for me that changes my mind, right? I don't like this concept that I'm not allowed to change my mind. I don't like the CBS All Access right now, right? I understand why they're doing it. For me, it's just one too many things for me to subscribe to. Right?
It's a lot. You start to lose track after a while.
Yeah, but if they go, hey, this show's really fucking good. Like, for instance, Dirk Gently is a perfect example, right? Where prior to Max coming on, I was like, it's cool, but I don't know if that's going to be for me.
Yeah.
Max changed my mind on it. We talked about it. I was like, this sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
Bought the first season for $20. Happy to give the creator the money because it's phenomenal content. I want to give these people my money, but I just don't know if this is the right way to do it yet. I haven't been convinced that subscribing to yet another online streaming service is the right way to go.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, of course, Disney, we haven't even seen what theirs is going to look like. I got to get that.
Why?
I don't know. Star Wars, Marvel, all those movies are going to be on that instead.
Is that a big enough pull for you?
No, it's not.
I don't think it is for me either.
Because if for instance, I can get them, if I can rent them on demand, like on Time Warner, or if I can get them on PlayStation Network, or if I can get them on Amazon Prime, I will not subscribe to the Disney thing.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mind, hey, I want to watch Star Wars, I'll pay $4 for it, right? I don't need, like Rogue One's been on Netflix for the longest time. I have no desire to watch that movie. I saw it twice in theaters.
Yeah.
I'm good, right? If that goes off Netflix and I want to watch it later down the road, maybe I'll think about renting it, or maybe I'll just watch Biodome again. It doesn't matter. So I'm not that big of a Disney and Marvel fan that I need to have constant access to those, right? I'm also not the kind of person that needs we're getting into this weird murky territory where I've given up on the idea of ownership of media, right? Now I'm just like, you know what, it's always out there. If I really want to watch a movie, I'll find it.
Yeah.
With the exception, or a show, I'll find it. With the exception, of course, of Star Trek Discovery, which is like in a fucking maximum security penitentiary that I can't penetrate, but I will penetrate it eventually. There's one thing I know about myself is I will penetrate you, CBS, eventually. But it's weird because now, as we're seeing the streaming infrastructure kind of start to specialize a little bit more, we're getting back into that level of ownership almost, right?
Yeah.
Because if Disney says to you, hey, you can get every single Disney property movie on here for $10 a month, That's very similar to I'm going to buy this DVD and keep it on my desk, right?
Yeah.
But I know myself. I'll do that and never watch any of those fucking movies.
Exactly.
I like the current landscape of streaming because there's you're still catching a movie in the wild feel to me, right? Where like
exactly.
I like turning on my TV and seeing like, oh, that weird movie with Paul Bettany and Dennis Quaid, Legion, is on. I'll watch that right now, right? You know, I love that sort of someone's choosing to show me what movie I want.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I also like having the flexibility of going and renting a movie.
Best of both worlds.
It is the best of both worlds. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll have to see when Tim gets the Disney streaming service if it's worth getting.
Yeah. I think if they start producing original content, that might win me over, depending on what that is.
Well, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
And once they start making like, if they ever get to a point where they make a Star Wars show, that's gonna get me. That'll get me, sir.
That might be
and I'm
worth
sure
it.
they're gonna do that. Trey Jamal says, where can I watch Dirk Gently? Well, if you are, I believe if you're outside of the United States, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you have BBC America, you can watch some of the episodes there. But if you have the almighty power of Amazon Prime or Amazon, you can go there and you can watch the first season. I think it's like $20. I think it's worth it. I think it's really, really good. But you have to really like kind of like niche-y Douglas Adams style sci-fi. Like if you're a big Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan, I think you'll like this. It's really weird and quirky like that.
Yeah.
If you're a Max Landis fan and you want to see what Max Landis uninhibited sounds like, watch Dirk Gently. It's really cool. And it's got a lot of heart. I think you'll like it.
I want to give it a shot. I like Max. I like his stuff. It's not necessarily something I would like go out and seek if his name wasn't attached to it.
Right.
But it's on my never-ending list, and now that they've taken Friday Night Lights off of Netflix, I have some free time.
There you go. The Mobile Mike said, whatever happened to Comic Book Day yesterday, LOL. Apologies about that. Greg is actually in New York right now shooting some stuff, and so I think we've postponed that. We got to get better about these comic book and movie watch days. The movie thing we're just not doing anymore. I feel like we just can't commit to that.
I think it's going to just be like one-off things. It's not going to be a regular every week.
And so I don't know about the comic book day, but the movie thing will, whenever everyone's watching movies, like we probably should have made the required viewing this week, Blade Runner Final Cut, but so we can talk about that for a little bit. But at the same time, I don't know. There's some part of me that's like, maybe I just want to watch what I want to watch. You know, I don't want to be tethered to have homework. Who the fuck wants homework, right? But then the other part of me is like, it's pretty cool that we're all like watching the same movie.
But when homework is watching Blade Runner, it's like, oh, homework.
It's like when you're in Spanish class and they're like, and your Spanish teacher's too hungover to teach, so she puts on like the Spanish Muppets Christmas Carol, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I'll watch this for a little bit.
I'm into it.
Lazy ass teachers. That's why we're all fucking. That's why we all don't know anything. People are saying that it's also on Hulu. If you have Hulu, Dirk Gently is on Hulu, so you can watch it there. So you have Hulu.
I have Hulu.
You should watch
so
it
I'll watch that.
Watch it. I'd like to. Well, not tonight. We're gonna see Blade Runner tonight.
Yeah.
We've already thought about that. Here's my other question to you, Joy. Now I made a pact with myself this morning. No more Diet Coke.
Okay.
I've had way too many Diet Cokes. I keep going down the rabbit hole of don't drink water, drink Diet Coke. It's much more flavorful and it's fun. Gotta stop doing that. But I picked the wrong day to do it.
You did.
Because I gotta get a giant Diet Coke.
It's
what
your
are we
movie
getting
theater
for snackums at the movie theater tonight?
Process. What snacks are we getting?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we have to get popcorn. I feel like that's a necessity.
I feel like you have to get popcorn and then I'll eat it all. Because that way I don't feel guilty about the carbs. Other people get it. And
Is this similar to the Cheeto thing that happened yesterday?
It's very similar to like if, you know when you go in free samples, like free samples don't count?
They don't count.
They don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone has to get popcorn.
Someone's got to get popcorn.
I bet you Gio will get popcorn. We can get Gio to get popcorn.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Okay, cool.
Gio and Tim split it and we'll just steal it.
Like, oh, I don't want it. And then Jill make him hold it. It'll be hilarious.
And then we need to get Reese's Pieces.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll have a couple of Reese's Pieces. Maybe I'll start the diet.
You got the salty
Maybe I'll start
and the
back up on the
sweet?
diet tomorrow. Buff Arm says, Nick, Coke Zero Sugar. Try it. The new formula is greater than Diet Coke. I have tried it, and I agree. It's really good. I tried. It's all I drank when I was in Europe, and it's fucking phenomenal. But I stopped drinking it because I was like, I'm going to stop. I have to stop drinking this stuff. It's too good, and I'm not drinking water. And I noticed at the end of the night, I'd get headaches because I'd be super dehydrated. So that's why I stayed away from that. But then I went to Diet Coke as some sort of weird concession with myself, where I'm like, well, I'll just drink Diet Coke. That's a good middle ground. Nah, I'm a fucking idiot.
Still
I'm addicted. I'm horribly addicted to diet sodas. Still haven't seen if anyone's telling me whether or not Star Trek Discovery is worth the money.
I saw someone say that Star Trek is on Netflix outside of the United States, but that doesn't seem right. If
it
it's
is.
Just,
no, it is. It's very
Really?
weird. Yeah, because see,
even though it's a new show, it's episode by
CBS
episode.
All Access is just pushing. They're pushing that in the States. They want people in the States to get it, which is ridiculous.
Interesting.
If it were on Netflix right now, I'd be happier than pig and shit.
You know what? I'm very excited to come back to Netflix. Black Mirror season 4. Did you ever watch it?
I tried to watch Black Mirror. Now again, this is where we get into the wife factor. Where I tried to watch Black Mirror with D.
Not
and
into
D
it.
was like, because it was that first episode where the guy has to fuck a pig.
Yeah, that goes in for shock value for sure.
And D was like, no, we're not doing this to ourselves. I can't do this for a bunch of...
They're not all like that. Some of them are like
Well,
that.
I can't. Yeah, we're done. I think we watched like 2 episodes.
Okay.
2-3 episodes of it. We just couldn't get into it. I gotta reacclimate to anthology series. They're just hard for me to watch because I get attached to characters and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna see this person again.
Yeah.
But they're cool. It's a cool art form.
I like it.
All right, let's go into the next news story.
What do we got?
New Justice League trailer coming soon.
I'm very excited with tempered expectations.
Alex Osborne over at the IGN says a new trailer for Justice League will be released this coming Sunday, October 8th. Warner Brothers teased the impending arrival of the new trailer by posting a collection of new hero images on the official Justice League Twitter account. Check out the gallery below to see the new images, which spotlight Ben Affleck's Batman, Ezra Miller's The Flash, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, and Ray Fisher's Cyborg.
That's the Jason. That's the Jason we know.
Jason! I don't understand. Let's see what these look like.
Pull them up.
Yeah, let's pull up the images. I haven't seen these yet. Just click on the little, yeah, there you go. Cool.
I like it.
Cool. Meh. Nobody fucking cares about Cyborg. Cool, I guess. These aren't...
I love Jason Momoa.
That's that one. That's
Aquaman.
Joey.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Should they just stop making trailers for this?
Yes, I think so.
Because I'm in already. That first trailer, I'm not even being facetious when I say this. I'm like, this movie looks fun.
Is that the come together?
Yeah, come together. Right now. He's like, what's your superpower? I'm rich. And I'm
Over
like,
me.
Baller. Fucking baller line. We talk about Batman v Superman and the
Way
Justice
too
League
much.
and the DC expanded whatever the ECU.
I hate that it's the DCEU. I hate it.
Okay. We talk about it way too much. And I'll be honest, I know people in the chat are like, oh, fuck, here he goes again. They're going to talk about this again. I watched that trailer, and I'm like, this trailer is fun. And then I remembered, oh, wait, superhero movies are supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah.
That's what Marvel has done so well is they've made sure that every movie's fun while also still having a fairly well put together plot structure that leaves you fulfilled at the end. It doesn't leave you with a lot of questions as to why half of the stuff happened. So if this movie's just fun, if it's just a little bit more fun than Batman v Superman and a little bit more coherent, I'll be happy. The problem with Batman v Superman is you get halfway through, you're like, I'm kind of bored with this. Like, what the fuck is going on? And the guy's like stuffing things into his mouth, you know?
I remember thinking halfway through Batman v Superman, man, I wish that this was just a Batman movie. And I was like not sold on Ben Affleck being Batman walking into the movie. I was like, oh, this isn't good. But
by the end of it, I was like, I want to see a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Exactly.
And then looking at Justice League, I'm like, this might be the Ben Affleck Batman movie, just with some other cool side characters. I'm excited about this.
I'm super excited. So I thought the same thing when I first saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, this looks good. But then I remembered, I thought the same thing about the Suicide Squad trailer. And that kind of tempered my expectations.
Everyone's out of their fucking gourds. I watched the Suicide trailer and I was like, this looks terrible. Like Margot Robbie's character looked like it was super flat. Like all the lines she said, I'm like, that's not funny at all.
Oh, I was into it.
It looked bad. And I still stand by like, whatever this Gotham City Sirens thing, I just don't think you can make, I don't know, and maybe this is just my inability because I don't write, but I just don't think you can make villains compelling protagonists.
Yeah.
Because by the nature of who they are, they're supposed to be irredeemable. And in order to make a protagonist really connect with an audience, they have to have one redeemable quality. And Harley's supposed to be a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
We like that. We want to see that psychopath because then whatever they represent gets reflected in the protagonist, and there's the struggle, right?
The battle.
The battle, right? Of like, Batman has a dark side, and so when he fights Harley Quinn, you see that dark side in him, right?
Yeah.
But you can't not have Batman. I guess maybe I'm just being a crybaby because there's no Batman in the story. I just want to see fucking Batman. Just make a fucking good Batman movie.
I'm just excited for Gotham City Sirens because I love Poison Ivy as a character, and the only iteration we have is Batman and Robin, which I still kind of love.
How dare you, Uma Thurman's.
No, I like Batman and Robin, and he gives me shit for it all the time.
It's a terrible movie.
But I love it. I like the campy Batman.
I don't.
I like the bat nips.
No, the bat nips.
The only thing that they really fucked up that I don't like is the Barbara Gordon stuff in that movie.
Which
that
one who was Barbara Gordon?
Alicia Silverstone.
Was she Barbara Gordon?
She's Barbara Gordon. She's Batgirl, but she's Alfred's niece. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, that was weird. I blocked out a lot of that time. I'll be honest with you. It was a difficult time for me. I was such a fan of the '89 Batman and the subsequent sequel, Batman Returns, that when Joel Schumacher came in, it was, let's just say, traumatizing, to say the least, for me. I wanted to, I gave him a fair shake. I watched all of them. You get halfway through and you're like, no, I can't do this.
I think it's because I liked it as a kid. It's one of those nostalgic, I'll always kind of like it.
I think you need to.
I also just like shitty movies. I really like.
I like shitty movies too. I love shitty movies. We know this about me.
This is true.
Last night, after watching Blade Runner, I actually contemplated renting Jury Duty, starring Pauly Shore, because I just wanted more Pauly Shore.
What's with you and Pauly Shore?
I'm a huge Pauly Shore fan.
Just is it like a resurgence of Pauly Shore in your life lately?
Well, here's the deal. When I was growing up, Pauly Shore was a huge celebrity. You have to understand this. In the early to mid '90s, Pauly Shore defined an era of filmmaking, and people don't remember this because y'all were not born yet.
Oh my gosh!
But Pauly Shore was all over MTV. His character he blew the fuck up, and
was he always the butt of a joke, or was he ever seriously revered as a?
Well, okay.
As a star.
How do you define this? He was a big star that a lot of people liked. As to whether or not film critics ever gave him a thumbs up, no.
Got it.
People were always like, this guy is. He was probably the equivalent to a lot of film critics of fast food, right? Where you're like, this is just very easily consumable, disposable movies that are being made. They're just for entertainment value, right? But for guys like me growing up, I looked at him in the same light that I looked at Sandler and a lot of these other people who were making these really weird, off-the-wall, unique comedies that really resonated with me, right?
Got it.
It was about being a fucking class clown and about being shenanigans and being really, a lot of his movies had to do with people, his character inevitably was really misunderstood and people just wrote him off as being this complete fucking idiot, and then because of all of his actions, they realized he had a lot of heart. And that, to me, was always the Pauly Shore movie, right? The problem is he played that character over and over and over again, and then eventually it just got played out. So I forget about Pauly Shore for a very long time. Then I watched this documentary that he made, that he produced about himself. I think it's called Pauly Shore Stands Alone, which was just about what his life is now. After all the movies. Nobody wants to put him in movies anymore. What happens then? He is now a successful stand-up comic. Obviously, a lot of people don't know this, but I don't know if you've heard of the Comedy Store, which is in LA. Well, Mitzi Shore is his mom, and she started that with her husband, with his dad.
I had no idea.
And his dad bounced, they divorced, Mitzi Shore got it, made it into what it is today, which is this cultural fucking icon of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
They get super crazy headliners, right?
Anyone who's got a Netflix special right now, you can go in LA and see them and 4 other people in the same room do 15-minute sets. It's phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
But Pauly Shore's there all the time. I haven't seen him in person yet. I've never met the man. But so seeing him go, well, I still have to work. I still have to try. I still have to go out there and make my art is very, it's sad, but it's also super inspirational at the same time.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, you have a person who would be making movies still if it were up to him, and who at some point was a household name. Pauly Shore was everywhere.
Yeah.
In the mid '90s, he's not that anymore. So what happens? And I find that I love that space. I think that's so fascinating. But what do you do when you were at the top of the world and you're top of the mountain and now you're not there anymore? Do you just quit, or do you go on and find other ways to connect with your audience? I think it's really, really cool.
That is super interesting.
Yeah. So, also, he's the Weasel, and he's weasing the Gettys.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking awesome. One day I'm going to meet Pauly Shore and shake the man's hand because he gave me hours and hours of great entertainment. Also, Biodome still holds up. Fuck
Toku.
Everyone. They need to make Biodome 2. I just want that. I'm coming up with a pitch for Biodome 2. Same characters.
Do we need it?
No, we didn't need Biodome 1. Okay, to be fair, we didn't need any Pauly Shore movies. No one was asking for Son-in-Law, but we got Son-in-Law, and you're welcome.
Toku in the chat said Pauly Shore on Rogan was pretty good.
Yes, he was on Rogan recently, and he got really deep about it. He was like, people were asking him why his movie career dried up, and he goes, I wish it were about substance abuse or whatever. He goes, but I just made some bad choices, didn't listen to my management, and that and a combination of you know, inevitably, if you're really, really popular, at a certain point, people will get tired of you.
Yeah,
and
you
they'll
reach
want
critical
something.
mass.
You're not. Yeah, exactly. You're not new anymore, and I think that's what happened to him. Is that he hit it. He made a bunch of great movies. Well, okay, he made a bunch of popular movies.
There you go.
And then eventually, you do the same shtick over and over and over again. You're doing that character over and over again, and it stops. Same thing happened, by the way, to like it happens to everyone, right? Jim Carrey, I would say it happened to, even though he tried to shift over into more dramatic roles.
Yeah.
I think that the dramatic roles didn't necessarily work for him. Like, he did Truman Show, that was great, but then everything after that kind of didn't really. I Love You, Philip Morris, did a bunch of other movies like that, didn't necessarily
Room 23
work.
or whatever.
Yeah, those things you were like, okay, this is weird. He did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which a lot of people liked, but wasn't really like a mainstream hit.
No.
And then he goes back to
darling.
comedy, but he's never been what he was during the Ace Ventura Dumb and Dumber era.
And I wonder if that's because like he as a person is growing and evolving and trying those things, those didn't work out. So he's like, I'm gonna go back to what I was popular for, but if his heart's not in it,
right,
then it doesn't have the same punch.
I think it's that. I think it's a combination of that, but realizing that if you're like, I think his team's smart going, hey, you can't be Ace Ventura forever.
Yeah.
Clearly after Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, they were like, this is done. You just drove this character into the ground.
Yeah.
So moving over to the Liar Liars, moving over to the Yes Man, like moving over to those things I think is smart, but also having that dramatic like shift that like Tom Hanks was very successful at doing. Because everyone forgets that Tom Hanks was a comedian.
Yeah.
Tom
Splash.
Hanks in the 80s was the it comedian. Like Big, Splash, Man with One Red Shoe, like
Turner and Hooch,
all these movies that were these cookie cutter comedies, but Hanks realized I can't do this.
Was he in the Money Pit?
He was in the Money Pit with Shelley Long. Yeah, great movie. Okay. He did a bunch of great fucking movies. Skinny Hanks is fantastic.
I love Tom Hanks.
Kind of chubby Hanks, phenomenal actor. But Skinny Hanks is the era I love.
Yeah.
Right? The wacky, Bachelor Party. He was in Bachelor Party, which
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Great movie. Great movie. It's what I reference every time I have to throw a bachelor party.
You're like, I would like it to be that.
Anyway,
I also think for Jim Carrey, the whole comedy genre has changed of like the 90s comedy.
Well, it goes in cycles,
yeah.
right? And that's the thing too, is you always hear people like he didn't make it out of the 80s, but that's a very true thing. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily defined like start and finish of like, okay, you get 10-year cycles, but there is always a cultural shift that is a reaction to what came before, right? Everyone will say this, and it's true. The 80s is a direct reaction to what came in the 70s. The free love, hippie, protest Vietnam era gave birth to the yuppie, fucking neon light, blockbuster pop culture era.
Yeah.
Like we don't that's too much to think about. Let's just go into fucking
make it fun,
make it poppy and not think about that anymore. And then art exists there. And so if you're one of those people that capitalizes off of that zeitgeist, at some point you got to know that wave's going to crash onto the shore.
Yeah, I can't ride it forever.
And if you don't get off in time,
it's going to take you down.
It's going to take you down, and you can't get back up on it, right? And this happens to everyone. And so I think the actors that really prove their muscles are the ones that are able to shift and go into a different area and find projects that really speaks to them that can catch the next wave.
Yeah.
And I think more often than not, that's the single hardest thing to do. I was watching that Legion movie the other night, and I was like, oh, there's like two actors in that, Lucas Black and Adriana Palicki or Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about them.
She's done a ton of. She's a Friday Night Lights girl.
Is she a Friday Night Lights girl?
If it's the girl I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think it is. But
she's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's
she?
been able to do it.
Well, then that disproves my point.
Oh, sorry. Lucas Black is the guy from.
He's in a lot of
right?
TV show stuff too. Yeah, but he was in Tokyo Drift, and I was like, oh, this guy's going to be a big star.
No.
Didn't pan out in movies, finding a resurgence.
Oh, I didn't know that he was in TV.
I think he's doing some TV now. But I could be wrong.
I liked him.
I like him a lot too. It's hard out there for a pimp.
This is true.
Man, let's see.
What else we got? Who's in the chat?
Striven says that did I ever end up watching the TV show Legion?
Oh yeah,
no.
Adrienne Palicki. She was on Supernatural.
Was she?
She was on there for a hot second, like
Good for her.
2 episodes.
Oh, she is in John Wick. Thank you. That's where I remember seeing her.
In the first one?
Yeah, she's in the first
one. I never
one.
saw the first
in the hotel room.
I never saw the first one.
What?
I only saw the second.
First one's as good as the second one.
Here's the thing.
If not better.
No,
it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
No, I'm not arguing that.
Actually, the second one might be better.
So Greg put out a tweet yesterday that's like,
I like how in that sentence I flip-flopped twice. I was like, second one's better than first one. No, first one's better. No, you know what? Second one's better than first. Second one, I think the second John Wick Well, it's a continuation story. I think it's better than the first one. I think they do it better.
I haven't seen the first one, and that's mostly because of the dog dying, and I can't do that. I was a fucking wreck after I watched Marley and Me. So now, if I know that that's going to happen in a movie, I can't go. I was like ugly crying, where you're like, because you can't.
I won't watch that movie. I refuse to watch
I
Marley
and Me. 100% support you in that. So that's why I didn't watch the first one. I really liked the second one. I thought it was really fun. Who would have thought that Keanu Reeves would have made a comeback?
Well, first off, Keanu Reeves.
Are you going to say he never left? I hate you.
He chose to. I honestly believe that Keanu Reeves, after the success of The Matrix, chose to be like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I want to pull back a little bit. He did. I forget. He did a couple like kung fu movies. Kind of like went over here, produced some stuff, and I think John Wick was. I mean, I fucking love him in that movie.
Yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves. I will always love Keanu Reeves for one reason and one reason only.
Speed or Point Break?
How dare you? Point Break. Okay.
Dude, Speed is so good.
And by the way, I'm so glad they never chose to remake Point Break.
You know it's coming.
No, it did come. It's terrible.
Wait, is it? Did it?
They made one.
When
you don't remember the remake of Point Break?
I definitely didn't see it.
Oh my god. Oh my golly gosh gee.
Was it recently?
Oh yeah. It was like a year and a half ago or 2 years
Who's
ago.
in it?
No one.
Oh, that's probably why I never knew.
Well, no, it was a couple up and coming actors who have done a lot of things. I shouldn't say no one. There actually is a pretty good cast in it. But they took the concept of Point Break, which was about bank robbers who robbed banks to fund an endless summer of surfing.
Yeah.
And made it about international terrorists who are robbing all these different places to make a point of some sort. It went global, and it went into extreme sports. But that wasn't the point. The reason why everyone loves the original Point Break is because the Keanu Reeves character and the Patrick Swayze character.
Patrick Swayze is why everyone loves Point Break.
Again, how dare you? Okay. Did you not hear the first name that I said, which is Keanu
I did,
Reeves?
and I chose to ignore it.
Those two characters are the same character, just on different sides of the coin. And so when they get together, you see, like Keanu Reeves sees that side of his life that he could have been had he chose to do that, right? But there's a camaraderie and a brotherhood and I love this person even though I have to probably either shoot them or put them in cuffs. That was really, really cool. So the people who remade Point Break were like, cool, we get that. We don't want any of that in this movie. We're just gonna make this about dirt bikes.
It's capitalizing on the like nostalgic feeling that people have about that title, and it's like, how can we manipulate that into buying a ticket to this movie?
Which is, it's terrible. And I had to watch it because it's called Point Break, but I'll never forgive it. I'll never forgive it.
I hope that they don't ever remake Roadhouse.
I think they are remaking Roadhouse.
Oh, are they really?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they are.
Leave everything that Patrick Swayze did alone.
DH Canada says Keanu will forever be Ted Theodore Logan. He will be.
That's also
and
true.
by the fucking way, everybody, hallelujah. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is on Amazon Prime right now. You can watch it.
Really?
Yeah, you can watch it for free. Yeah, it's next up on my queue, and I've been waiting for like a day where I could just go through Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and then go to Bogus Journey.
Oh my gosh.
And just watch them back to back.
Just commit.
Yeah, they were trying forever to get that series back up again, but I think it's dead.
Yeah.
I know the guy that played Bill was like, I'll do it. And Keanu was like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'm good.
He's like, I'm not going to revert back to this when I'm having such a resurgence in my career.
But the thing about Keanu at this point is, he's good. He's cemented. He will be around forever in some iteration, whether it's in a big blockbuster or if he's just doing smaller movies. I don't think he can...
Really?
Unless he fucks up his career royally, I think he'll be good for forever. In other words, I think he could find a fun way to do a Bill and Ted's
without sinking his career.
Without sinking his career. I think he's done enough at this point where we can give him a pass on this one and be like, go out there and have some fun and just try it. I think he could.
I don't know.
But I also think that I've been proven. A couple years ago, I was like, leave him alone.
Yeah.
But there are things like we talked about with Adi, like 21 Jump Street. These movies that come out that I'm like, oh, this is actually a really cool, fun take on this and brings it up into the modern day. I think they could do that. I think they could do that with Bill and Ted. I really do. Like, Keanu doesn't have to be the main character in it.
Yeah.
But they could somehow have, all you have to do is capture the same, like some level of the same spirit or the same fun factor in it.
Yeah.
And move it into the next generation. I think they could absolutely do that.
Framing it in the 21 Jump Street kind of
think about that
thing makes me more on board with it.
Okay. Joey, let's quickly go through these next two news stories. First, official images of Pacific Rim 2 are out.
I never saw Pacific Rim 1.
I saw it. Don't necessarily care. Of course,
Is
John
Pacific Rim
Boyega's
the
in
one
this.
that had Rihanna?
No, that was Battleship.
See, I get them all confused.
This one was the one with the kaiju, where they have kaiju, I think, right?
I don't know.
Big monsters that these things have to fight, and they make these big...
knockoff Transformers?
They made these big, well, they're not Transformers, they're mecha, and they made them, and it takes two people to control them for some reason. I haven't figured out why.
Huh.
Anyway.
Is that...
It's John Boyega.
No, Eastwood.
Yeah, that's Scott Eastwood. Scott Eastwood, is that his name?
I think so.
Clint
that sounds
Eastwood's
right. Son.
better looking son.
He's incredibly attractive.
Also in Fast and Furious 8 as the nutty character.
But I love him.
Well, I like him. Hopefully his career goes. Okay, next image. Or next news story, rather. This is our first image of Fantastic Beasts 2. Scroll down. There he is, Newt Scamander. I don't know the context of this. This was just on Reddit. I saw it. I put it in here. I probably should have researched it more. I went back recently and watched Fantastic Beasts. And it was the exact same as when I saw it in theaters. That is to say, enjoyable movie, but somehow misses the mark of the magic that is the Harry Potter films.
I think it's really hard to recreate that.
It's impossible to recreate that. First off, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this movie, and I got this movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It gave me a little hint of nostalgia. But I'm interested to see how they flesh this series out going forward with Dumbledore and Grindelwald and all these people.
I'm going to get into some spoilers here for the first
While you do that, I'm going to
Fantastic
queue up
Beasts.
tips. So if people want to tip us and tell us anything like I'm wrong.
If you have not seen Fantastic Beasts and you don't want to hear about the end, you should probably just mute this and
just
eventually
fucking
do
listen.
it.
You're not going to watch it.
I liked Fantastic Beasts a lot until we got to the end and it was fucking Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I was so upset because I really liked the Colin Farrell. I thought he was like an interesting character, and I hate what Johnny Depp does to movies of like, he's always Johnny Depp. Like he's never really fully playing a character.
No, he's always, now all he is a weird iteration of Captain Jack Sparrow, where it's like, you'll never know.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
And that made me so upset and like completely tarnished, I think, the rest of my view on the movie. If it would have just been that, and even if he would have turned into somebody else, totally fine. If it could have been anybody but Johnny Depp.
Well, I'm just bummed for
it.
Colin Farrell.
He was so good.
Because I love Colin Farrell. Like, I really liked him when he first came on the scene with Minority Report, right? And he just did a bunch of cool movies after that. I even liked him I think he was in Total Recall. I even liked him in that.
Is he really?
He was in the remake of Total Recall. I think he was the main character. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I was pissed off about was I knew Johnny Depp was in the movie because I think they'd spoiled that beforehand.
I missed that part.
But I was just like, why? It was like, the reveal, the thing that killed me was that the reveal was that it was Johnny Depp, not that it was Grindelwald.
Yeah.
And that's what annoyed me about it was you could see the hand of the director and the producers in this going, it's gonna be so hilarious, like awesome when we figure out that this was really Johnny Depp the entire time. But what I don't think they realize is that I don't know that audiences love Johnny Depp as much as they would when Pirates of the Caribbean came out, because there's been 80 Pirates of the Caribbean. There's all this shit in the news about how he like kind of is a wife beater and like going broke and a fucking crazy man.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's true or not, but like that's all his
Hearsay,
business, whatever.
yeah.
But you get to that scene and it's like, oh man, like it's almost you feel bad about Colin because Colin Farrell did such a fucking awesome job up to that point. Like he is probably arguably the most fascinating part of that movie. You're like, what the fuck is this guy doing, right? Cool hair, doing spells without saying them. That's some G shit, right? Then he gets there and you're like, oh, we're not gonna see Colin Farrell anymore. That sucks. Now we're stuck with Johnny Depp for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp, again, phenomenal actor when he wasn't Johnny Depp now.
Well, and that's all he is.
That's all he is now.
He's the character actor.
He's graduated to the Al Pacino level, where every time you see Al Pacino in anything, it's like Al Pacino playing Al Pacino as the character.
Yep, 100%.
Hoo-wah!
But I love Al Pacino, though.
I mean, I love Al Pacino, but the last movie I remember distinctly liking Al Pacino was Heat. Everything after that, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, this guy's gonna walk around kind of like, hoo-wah!
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, excited about this.
But I'll still see this because I like
I'll see the shit out of
world
this.
enough.
It's Harry Potter. It'll always be Harry Potter. We have a few tips to read. Brandon Sanchez has given us a tip and said, if you love Stranger Things and retro games, then you need to go play the new mobile game. Love your guys' content, and it makes my workday so much smoother. Keep up the good work. Deuces. I read about that. There's a Stranger Games mobile game.
I didn't love Stranger Things, which made me really upset because it's like creepy, spooky, set in the 80s is a Joey thing, and it didn't click with me.
There was a tipping point with Stranger Things where I was like, okay, you guys are clearly again, another not to say this in a bad way, but another instance of the hand of the creators are in this.
Yeah.
So clearly, like, designed to tug at that 80s nostalgia, right? And some could argue that they went way too far with it, and it's almost distracting.
I don't think I watched.
I just hit a point where I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna like this."
Yeah.
I'm in. I see what they're doing, and I understand that they're manipulating me in this way, and I'm just gonna choose to like this. Well, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think Stranger Things, if memory serves me correctly, suffered from a lot of the same problems that a lot of the Netflix series do, in that I really think they need to be 6 episodes.
Okay.
Right? 8 episodes. There's always a couple episodes in there. I'm like, I don't care about the fucking friend. I don't care about the friend. Like, let's get back to the underworld or the upside down verse, whatever the hell they call it.
Upside down.
Having said that, though, the trailer for the new Stranger Things that uses that dope ass version of Thriller. I'm like, "There's night, makes me want to break it fucking down.
Yeah.
And they got
I love the posters that they did too, where they recreated all the 80s horror, like the Poltergeist and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Thought that was really good.
Yeah, so they're having fun with it, and they're obviously very much leaning into that. Like, we get it.
Yeah.
We understand. We're making this nostalgic on purpose for you. Get over it, Scarpino. Get over it and stop being a stupid, snobby film critic.
I think it suffered from the overhype too, of like, if you missed the initial like week of watching it, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good, it's so good."
Right. You know what though? My wife went back. Of course, my wife is never an early adopter of anything. And anytime I tell her to like something, she immediately says, "Don't tell me what to do," and then never watches it. So I let her come to that on her own. She came to it 6 months later and was like, "This is awesome. I love it." So she's super stoked for this. She's jacked for Stranger Things too, and so am I. And I like having things to share with my wife that's nerdy, because secretly I'm trying to turn her into a nerd. But she won't let me.
I was like, you got a lot of work to do. I feel like with
I know, I'm not that smart. Mr. Surfy Bird says, "I tried changing my password today to beef casserole, but the computer said it wasn't stroganoff.
That's pretty funny.
You can have that one, Nick, on me for use in your stand-up. Thank you. I will write that down right after this. And our final tip today comes from Mr. Yazman300. Says, "Guys, Greg didn't went to New York for WWE IGN stream. He went to LA to watch Conan O'Brien. Here's the proof."
Have you seen this at all?
No.
You haven't seen this pop up on Twitter?
No.
This is super funny. We saw this pop up yesterday.
Cool, Greg. Let's cue this up. Do you want me to copy it in there?
I got it.
All right.
On Twitter, and Andy and I were laughing about it.
Okay, let's look at this. Bring it up for the audience. Cool, Greg.
We're playing the whole thing, 3 minutes?
I don't know.
We'll skim through it
Skim
probably.
through it and see if we can find whatever the joke is here.
I mean-
Man, next time anytime you guys have a clip, you gotta timestamp it for us. What's that?
Joey, do you know what we're looking for?
We're looking for a shot of Greg in the
you
audience.
can just play it, but
play it,
there's
yeah.
a guy named Greg Miller in the audience.
How do we know his name is Greg Miller?
They talk about it. So Conan tweeted about it yesterday, and then we got tagged in a bunch of the comments of like, "That's not Greg Miller. That's not Greg Miller. That's not Greggy."
I'm pretty sure that's not our Greg
Don't
Miller.
get me wrong, you've been a terrific crowd so far, but this guy has been laughing and clapping and just having an amazing time. And he caught my eye. He's having such a good time. And I got to talk to him. Sir, what is your name?
Hey, Conan, my name is Greg Miller.
Greg Miller. Okay, cool. Oh, thanks for being here, Greg.
There you go.
And
All right,
where
well, I
are you from?
appreciate that.
But I told
from
Andy,
Houston,
I was like, what I would like to do is get our Greg Miller with that Greg Miller and Canadian Greg Miller to have a Game Over Greggy.
We should do an all
Greg's
Greg
cast.
Miller, Greg Miller? Mm-hmm. No, an all Greg Miller, Game Over Greggy.
Greggy.
Yeah, I think that'd be really, really fun. If we can get the guy that's running for Ward 4
Canadian Greg Miller.
Greg Miller to come down and talk to us, I think that'd be
And this
fascinating.
Greg Miller.
Very fascinating. Of course, I don't know if that would make a great 2 hours of content or a hilarious 5 minutes, but hey, I'm down to try it.
We'll figure it out.
Definitely down to try it. Joey.
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and, that's it for tips right now. Why don't you go ahead and read our P.S. I Love This Best Friend XOXO?
I will. It might take me a second, or maybe I'll just use your computer because
Sure, why don't
mine
you do that?
froze in the middle
Let's do that.
and everything shut
There
down.
you go.
If you didn't know, you can go to kindafunny.com/bestfriend and nominate anybody you see in the community doing something awesome, just like Albert Hernandez did. He's shouting out Leo Racinos and says, "Leo has been my closest friend for a really long time now. He introduced me to Kinda Funny and the rest is history. He also helped me subscribe to Twitch so I can listen to you guys while I'm at work." Man, Albert has hit a lot of different points that we would like to recognize here.
Let's go one by one here.
So Leo introduced him to Kinda Funny.
Boom, Leo.
10 points for Gryffindor.
What's up?
Then he also
Or Ravenclaw.
helped you.
We're not going to say you're in Gryffindor. Let's keep
do you
the
have a house? Do you know
I'm
what
Ravenclaw.
You're Raven. Are you
Yeah.
upset about that?
I'm not happy about it.
Why not?
Because I want to be. Everyone wants to be Gryffindor.
I don't. I like being I'm like half Ravenclaw and half Hufflepuff.
No, you can't be fucking half. You're in the sorting hat sorts you into one of the houses. I got sorted originally into Gryffindor. Nobody believes me. Did the stupid sorting hat thing again. It put me in fucking Ravenclaw. I'm not happy about it.
I originally got sorted into Hufflepuff, and then I took it again, and I got put in Ravenclaw. So that's why I feel like I'm half and half.
Well, then start giving points to Ravenclaw, for Christ's sake, if you're doling them out.
Well, 10 points for Gryffindor just flows off the tongue very
Gryffindor,
well.
they already have, they win everything. Those pieces of shit are always the pretty people that are brave. Us Ravenclaws are over here, we're making shit work. We're the programmers of the world, we're studying,
reading.
we're the leaders, we're the politicians. We are the power brokers.
Leo is probably Ravenclaw, and that's why he showed you how to subscribe on Twitch so you can listen to us during work.
Thank you, Leo.
So 50 points for Ravenclaw. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to us on Twitch, you can still do it.
Keep a counter.
They extended September so that if it's your first time subscribing, you can still get half off.
There you go.
Awesome. We also don't have any sponsors this week.
We don't.
Sponsor-free show, but we're still giving away games.
Joey, I'll tell them how you can get entered into winning the giveaway, and then you tell them.
Tell me.
That there's 4 ways. 1, you can be in the Twitch chat right now. I don't know if Amy Gilroy is in there, but she usually, her and Zaya are like, don't spam the chat. Just being in the chat enters you to win. 2, you can be a subscriber. Joey just said, hey, it's half off this month. So you want to subscribe to us? It's half off this month to do it. We really appreciate it if you would. If not, no big deal. You just being here, good enough.
Hanging
we
out.
like feeling your presence. Ways 3 and 4, you could support us at the $2 above level on either of our Patreons. That's patreon.com/kindafunny or patreon.com/kindafunnygames. We're offering lots of cool fan mail, exclusive content over there, early access to stuff. So definitely worth checking out those 2 platforms. I highly recommend it, and I'm not saying that just because it allows me to run my business.
It's actually really cool.
We're actually offering a good value, I think.
I had a lot of fun doing the fan mail tier for last month.
They were fun.
And those are ordered, and they should be coming here this week so we can see them.
I'm very excited about that.
But the winner today,
Yes.
who is winning Steep on Xbox One, is Steve Powers from the Kind of Funny Patreon.
Congratulations, Steve
Thank you,
Powers.
Steve.
Good job. Good job. Now, we'll
What do we
go
got
into the
now?
section of this show that we like to lovingly refer to as the old 3 and 3. Or as I like to say, the old, I don't count them, so I don't know how many comments we take from subscribers and how many comments we take from non-subscribers. But we'll take some comments, questions, concerns, inspirations, funny moments from non-subscribers, and then we will talk to the chosen few, the golden children.
I like the chosen few.
The chosen few, the subscribers. If you want to be one of the chosen few, it's easy. You can just subscribe. If not, we'll probably answer your question anyway. Gregory Len says, hanging out with Nick and Joey gave us a nice little purple heart.
Thank you.
Nice. Love that. Vardelay says, Nick is Slytherin, going back and forth on things like a snake. Oh, snake. First off, snakes don't go back and forth on things. They twirl around them until they fucking choke the air out of things. Okay, I do that sometimes. that is what I do a couple times a week. So maybe I am Slytherin. But again, I got started. I would have taken Slytherin over Ravenclaw because Slytherin has more character. Ravenclaw's just Them in Hufflepuff, it's like Who wrote anything about?
You're insulting the 2 houses that I'm in.
Name one notable Ravenclaw.
Isn't it Luna Lovegood Ravenclaw?
Okay, other than Luna Lovegood and Cho Chang.
I was gonna say that was my second one. Rowena Ravenclaw, the founder of the Ravenclaw house.
Here's what you're gonna do. Don't worry about it. Start thinking about it.
I'm very confident in my
Pokemon.
house. Oh yeah, we should do that
Okay, we're gonna do
in
that.
my house choices. Are we getting a Minority Report with Joey and Andy? I feel like we've done one of those. We actually have.
I'm pretty sure you have. But I'm down for that. No, I think I'm hosting tomorrow with Andy. If I could be wrong, but I don't know. Maybe you'll host me tomorrow because Andy's super busy with party mode.
This is true. We'll figure it out.
I've really enjoyed your co-host.
It's really fun.
This is.
I like being on the show.
This is good. You're great at it. You're a natural. Your boy Taters _ says Luna Lovegood is a G. She is a G. I will say that. Cool, Greg.
Yeah.
What house are you in?
Slytherin, man.
Yeah, of course you are.
Classic.
Yeah.
When I went
Such a
to
Slytherin thing to say.
Have you been to Wizarding World yet?
No.
We should go.
We saw it. We were in that mansion in LA, and from the mansion we could see Hogwarts.
Oh my god.
I still have my pass, so I think I'm gonna go down.
I'll go
sometime
with you.
before then.
I gotta go. I have to go down sometime this month or next. I have to go down, so maybe we'll make a trip out of it. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll do a little rendezvous with LA. Make a little
LA.
content. See a few friends. Go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Drink some butterbeer.
I can bring my wand.
Yes, you
I
can.
almost bought the Luna Lovegood one,
Let's
but
bring
then
Cool
I
Greg.
didn't.
Let's just pull up to his house and be like, Cool Greg, you want to come and hang out with us?
Oh, he would. Cool Greg would totally be down for that.
That'd be fun as fuck. The three of us going down there, yeah.
Isn't Nick the owner of the python and the sloth, which is basically just a constricting snake?
Yeah, I am. You guys are making a lot of good points. And I would love to change my mind right now, but I can't because I don't want to be fucking branded as a flip-flopper. Okay? So I'm just going to do what I have to do because y'all have backed me into the corner, which is just double down on whatever the hell other statement I just made.
Flip-flopper. Why don't you flip around, you little flip-flopper? Flip-flopper!
Andy, here's the thing. Are you doing games daily?
Yes.
Too bad because we're going to get Pokeball after this.
Well, have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
I hope you and take this that I mean this in the nicest way possible. I hope you fucking starve to death. I really do.
Hey, Blade Runner.
Hey buddy.
Blade Runner. Love
Blade
it.
Runner Day.
Them blades with the Blade Runners. I'm gonna have fun with my glasses gunners. Cause they make me see well when I play some games.
Now see, now I feel like you're off brand
There's
here.
Cool Greg.
Nope, we were talking about Blade.
Elise and James.
This is a Blade Runner rap, and you just brought in Funhouse, Cool Greg, and Gunner glasses.
Yeah, well, Gunner's
Which-
kind of like our Blade Runner.
I think because they rhyme, that's where you're drawing the comparison, but I don't think they're anything like Blade Runner.
Yeah,
In fact, I don't
say
remember
that.
anything
Some
in
say
Blade
that.
Runner where people wear glasses. I don't think anyone even wears glasses in that.
Oh.
You make
What do
a
you think
good
about
point.
Cool Runnings?
Love Cool Runnings.
Good movie, huh?
Jamaica, we got a bobsled team.
Some people don't believe.
I think it's also on
I think it
Amazon
is.
Prime, by the way.
I think
I'm
it's.
going to watch
Some
it.
people don't believe we have a
Oh, no.
Jamaican bobsled team.
Cool Runnings on the Disney vertical, like the Disney Blade for Netflix. It's on Netflix right now. You guys can watch that. I was
Tom
watching
Candy,
it.
man. Good guy.
Too bad.
Too bad, right?
Taken before his time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's go into sub-only mode.
Mr. Yasman said, Nick and Joey, they remade Dirty Dancing into a TV film. I watched the first 5 minutes and immediately turned it off. It was awful.
First off, they also remade Dirty Dancing into Dirty Dancing 2, Havana Nights.
I never saw that.
No one did.
I also saw Dirty Dancing, the Broadway musical.
How was that?
Dirty Dancing, the
fucking
movie.
love to see that.
It was.
I would love to see that.
It's super cheesy, and you have to know that going into.
Baby. Did they get all the music licenses, or is
They
it
got
not?
most of them, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
They added a couple songs, and then they added this like Dirty Dancing is a movie, not super long, so they had to like add some things to like flesh it out to make it a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
So one of the musicals that I wanted to see was School of Rock.
I never
and
saw that
then
one.
I watched, I don't know why I watched the Tonys like 2 or 3 years ago.
love the
And they're like,
Tonys.
and now an original song from School of Rock. And I found out they didn't get half the music. And I was like,
Oh.
what is the fucking point of this
School-
show,
yeah.
of School of Rock, if you're not going to play, like, if they're not going to play AC/DC? It was just super cheesy. Sometimes Broadway musicals, because they are an art form all to their own.
I love Broadway.
I love them too, but every once in a while, it's like, oh god, this is so fucking theater geek. This is so theater geek, and I hate to say it, I haven't seen Hamilton yet. I'm gonna get roasted, I know, but everyone's
I
like, I love
haven't seen it
Hamilton. I listened to one song in Hamilton, I was like, God, this is so theater geek, and I am a theater geek.
Yeah.
I was in theater all throughout high school. I fucking love theater. I'm not saying theater's bad. I think if you have a kid and he's gonna play football or theater, put him in the theater. It's much better for his for concussions. You know, plus you get to make out with girls backstage. Or boys, whatever he wants to do. It doesn't matter. We don't judge here. This is a safe zone. It's a safe space. But I listened to this and I'm like, oh my god, this is a little too fucking nerdy even for me. And
Yeah.
I'm an ultra nerd. So I can only imagine Dirty Dancing 2 might fall into that category. Having said that, oh, work it out, baby. Do they have that song? Work.
Yeah.
I
That
can't-
was like in the intro.
I carried a watermelon. Remember when she said that? I don't know why I said that. I carried a watermelon. Jennifer Grey, so fucking cute.
And then she got a nose job and nobody could recognize her again.
Fucked up. She's beautiful. But first off, she's beautiful now. She was beautiful then.
Yeah.
She had the weird crooked nose, the big nose.
But it was, like,
it was
endearing.
adorable. It made her
Jennifer
the
Grey.
underdog, right? It made her the character that
Made
was
her
flawed.
relatable.
Yes, very relatable, right? For Christ's sake, she's Jeannie in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She had a great career back in the day. Again, I think she's one of those characters, like I'm talking about, one of those people who just couldn't make it out of the 80s. Molly Ringwald, another character like that. Molly Ringwald, fucking flying high up until 1989.
Killed it.
Then has a falling out with John Hughes, as, by the way, does Anthony
really-
Michael Hall.
Oh.
And done. Career's done. Anthony Michael Hall didn't make it out of the 80s either. Comes back randomly as big Anthony Michael Hall in Dark Knight. You're like,
But random.
okay.
Molly Ringwald now has like a career on like ABC Family. She's like the mom of some on was it American Teenage Family
love Molly Ringwald
thing.
But she is one of those. It's fascinating to watch those eras, those epics of television or of movies happen, and then. Poof, we don't want that anymore. We want the 90s now. Here, the dogs are everyone wants grunge now, right? We want fucking movies set in Seattle about coffee and depression.
Yeah, High Fidelity. That's not Seattle. Though.
No, that was LA. The one I'm thinking of is Singles. Remember Singles with Campbell Scott and Kira Sedgwick?
Oh, that is a deep cut.
But that is the 90s to me. Remember, it was like I think it had Soundgarden in it. I think Soundgarden was actually in the movie.
Actually in it.
Oh, no, it wasn't Soundgarden. It was Eddie Vedder was in the movie.
Oh,
it was
gosh.
Like Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam was awesome. God, we're running along on this. I'm sorry, Tim.
Andy just got here, so I think it's fine.
Well, Andy is he's a drug dealer. Molly Ringwald is playing Archie's mom in Riverdale. That's the mom.
Oh.
Yeah, she's awesome. Molly Ringwald's awesome. Showed up in Not Another Teen movie. Falcon1282 says, Nick, are you a Trekkie? Trying to understand the pull to watch Discovery. I would not consider myself a Trekkie because I think in order to be a Trekkie, you have to be a really diehard fan. But I love watching Star Trek on TV. I love Star Trek. I love the movies. I love watching Star Trek on TV. Do I dress up like Spock and go to conventions? No. Would I? I would, actually. I'm just too fucking lazy to do it. Like, I have the same reason why I haven't picked a Halloween costume yet.
We can order you some stuff.
We gotta figure that out. But no, I just love Star Trek television shows. I have since I was a kid, starting with The Next Generation and then going to Voyager, Deep Space Nine, I could not get into. I know everyone says it's the best, but I just couldn't do it. And then I fucking loved Enterprise. I'm one of the few people. It's been a long road getting from place to place. I would hear that song and I'd be like, yeah, man, fuck yeah, we did it. America, Earth. You know, Earth, into the space. And then that show got canceled. Everyone was like, it's terrible. And then they haven't had enough. I think there should always be a Star Trek television show on. That's my final word on that.
There's a great comment telling you to watch Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, his impersonation of Christopher Walken. There's a comment in chat, cool Greg. If you can click the link and
B Silver 87.
Monk XXX said, if he was a foot taller, Nick could pull off Riker.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's true.
So we should watch this?
Yeah,
let's watch it.
Yeah, but you can watch the whole thing. Like just.
It's only a minute.
It's a minute long. Let's
watch it.
It's
only a minute. We're only going over.
Yeah.
We're already at 12:07.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is my show. There's no Greg beating down my fucking
This
door
is
trying.
true.
Hey, I gotta do my show now. Where I prep for like 2 hours to do my show, and everyone loves this show. I'm like, you know what? People are entertained by this as well, sir. Right now, we're gonna watch David Spade and Dave Grohl. Is that not? Who's that? Isn't that the guy from GTA 4, GTA 5?
Trevor.
Christopher Walken was. There was once when we did Saturday Night Live, and Christopher Walken was the host.
Amazing.
And he comes up and he's like, he asked us if the accent was on Foo or Fighters, and we know who he is. Like, of course, we know how he speaks, and we said the accent is on Fighters, actually. So he goes up.
How did he ask you? How did he ask you?
I'm not going to say that because he goes up and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters. Because I knew that's what happened. I was like, don't say, most people say Foo Fighters, but the way Christopher Walken says it, Foo Fighters.
That's great. I've never heard you do that voice before.
Oh, he was good.
See, now I want you to tell me the story of how he asked you.
He just came up and he just asked. He said, the accent, is it on Foo or Fighters? And I said, I think it's on Fighters. He's like, that's what I thought.
That's amazing.
I fully recognize that I do the worst Christopher Walkens on the internet.
You're the keeper of 12 things.
I am the keeper of 18 things. One of them, here we're going to run down. One of them I get to actually do tonight.
As soon as
whether
you
or not
that, Cool Greg looks down and shakes.
Cool Greg hates this joke. He hates this bit. I am the keeper of 18 things. One, whether or not Blade Runner 2049 is worth seeing, which we will all tell you tonight when we do the reacts. You're down for the reacts tonight, right?
Sure.
Fan-fucking-tastic. 2, whether or not The Departed was in fact a good movie. 3, whether or not you do a good Christopher Walken. Because I do such a terrible Christopher Walken that I recognize when yours is better than mine, and that by default, it's good if it's better than mine.
Okay.
Right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yours is the...
It's like on a curve. You're
Mine's sort of the... I don't want to say mine is the benchmark, but mine is definitely like... My Christopher Walken is sort of like the high school boyfriend that you don't want your daughter to date. Where you go, see that guy over there? Don't date him. By comparison, everyone else that you could date, way better. That's my Christopher Walken.
But your daughter only wants to date.
But my
that
daughter
guy.
only wants to get down on this sweet, sweet Walken.
Wow.
Wow. It's fine. Andy, it's good. What are you doing?
See, that's not bad.
Why don't you do it to me? Andy, I like
spicy.
watching you wear your plaid. You're wearing a yellow plaid. It's good for you. I wouldn't do it. It's fine.
Yeah, you gotta add more. Troy Baker does a lot of that voice.
But it's hard to do that voice. It's hard to project that voice.
Sure.
Because when Troy Baker does it, you can hear it across the room. When I do it, it has to be into the mic. So you won't,
It's crazy.
You gotta be more like, wouldn't do it. It's fine. Fine.
It's kind of a growl. Yeah.
Growl.
Yeah.
Andy.
Panzer 2. Joey, who's your favorite person to host with? Rhetorical. It's Nick. This has been really fun.
It has been fun. It has been fun also. Also, people reminded me, hey, Andy, real quick. I need a vote. Is my walk-in better? No, let's not say better. More or less entertaining than my Wahlberg? Because I've spent a lot of time in the car working on my Wahlberg. Do you want to hear it again for context?
No, I think your walk-in's way better.
Do you want to hear my Wahlberg just in case?
You can end the show.
Would you like me to say my Wahlberg because it's fun for me to do? And maybe you can just let me express myself through art?
We're good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Morning Show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. If you're watching live, we love you. Please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, we love you. Please subscribe. And if you're watching on iTunes, I guess, yeah, subscribe there too. We love you very, very much. It is absolutely our pleasure to serve you. I'm super jacked for Blade Runner tonight. The reacts is happening. Do we do this live? No, we don't do this live. It'll hopefully be up tomorrow, if not the next day, depending on how hard Cool Greg has to work, because we're a little short on staff. Greg's off gallivanting at the fucking Conan O'Brien show. And Kevin's on something called The Honeymoon. I don't know, I never got one.
Is that a true story?
No, I fucking went to Thailand. It was dope. My honeymoon was awesome. I had lots of sex.
It's usually what you do on a honeymoon.
Lots of it, if you believe that. If you do believe that, I've got some other stuff I can sell you on Patreon. Joey, thank you so much for co-hosting with me.
Thanks for letting me.
We have to have you on the show more. This was awesome.
Super fun.
Cool, Greg, thank you for your technical services. And everyone stick around. Kind of Funny Games Daily is up next with Tim Gettys and Andy Mark Wahlberg Cortez. Hey, everybody, I cut my own hair. I wore a yellow plaid today. Who wears yellow plaid? I wear yellow plaid. Should I wear yellow plaid?
Cool,
I don't
Greg,
know.
just shut
It's
it
up to you.
down, please.
Cool, Greg, shut it down.